Meng Wanzhou, chief financial officer of Chinese telecommunications giant Huawei, was arrested in Canada on December 1 at the request of the United States, which wants her extradited to face charges that she and her company misled banks about the company's business dealings in Iran. Canadian Foreign Minister Chrystia Freeland. Credit Susan Walsh. 9 days later, the Chinese detained Canadian ex-diplomat Michael Kovrig and Canadian entrepreneur Michael Spivor on vague allegations of engaging in activities that endanger the national security of China. Freeland's declaration marked a harder tone from Canadian officials. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau had been criticized by the opposition for what they called unacceptable reticence over his suggestion on Wednesday that raising demands for their release would be akin to stomping on the table without achieving their release. Freeland said that Canada is honoring its extradition treaty with the United States and said it's conducting a fair and transparent legal proceeding with respect to Meng. U.S. State Department spokesman Robert Palladino also reiterated that Canada is honoring its extradition treaty commitments. "We also express our deep concern for the Chinese government's detention of 2 Canadians earlier this month and call for their immediate release," Palladino said. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo also called for their release last week. UK Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt said in a statement the UK is confident that Canada is respecting its extradition treaty with the US and said he is deeply concerned that China may have detained the 2 Canadians for political reasons. The EU, meanwhile, issued a statement saying, the declared motive for the arrest and detention of Michael Kovrig and Michael Spivor, both Canadian nationals, raises concerns about legitimate research and business practices in China. The show of support from allies is significant for Canada, which has felt relatively isolated in recent months, particularly following U.S. President Donald Trump's criticism of Trudeau and his lack of public support. In August, Saudi Arabia expelled Canada's ambassador to the kingdom and withdrew its own ambassador after Canada's foreign ministry tweeted support for an arrested Saudi activist. The Saudis also sold Canadian investments and ordered their citizens studying in Canada to leave. No country, including the U.S., spoke out publicly in support of Canada, and the Trump administration